Welcome back to the Automotive Pulse channel. Today we are diving into something that is going to blow the minds of every muscle car fan out there. The 2027 Plymouth Roadrunner. Now before we get into it, I need to be upfront with you because we always keep it real on this channel. Plymouth as a brand has been dead since 2001, and there is no official confirmation from Stellantis about bringing it back. What you're about to see is a speculative concept and rendering, imagined as if Plymouth made its glorious return to take on the modern muscle car wars. So buckle up, because even as a what-if, this thing is an absolute beast, and by the end of this video you are going to wish this was real. Let's start with the exterior, because this is where the Roadrunner makes its first statement. The design language pulls heavy inspiration from the legendary 1968 and 1971 Roadrunner models, but modernized with aggressive new-age muscle car proportions. Picture a long, low hood with a power bulge dead center, flanked by slim LED headlights that wrap around sharp fender edges. The front fascia is dominated by a massive open-mouth grille, finished in gloss black mesh, designed to feed air straight into a high-output engine bay. Down the sides, you get heavily sculpted body lines that flow from the front fender all the way back to a ducktail spoiler, giving it that unmistakable retro muscle silhouette fans have been begging for. The wheel arches are flared out aggressively to house massive 20-inch wheels wrapped in sticky performance rubber. Out back, a full-width LED taillight bar ties the whole rear end together, with quad exhaust tips poking out from an aggressive rear diffuser. And of course, no Roadrunner would be complete without a cartoon bird badge stamped proudly on the fenders, paying homage to the original's playful yet menacing identity. Color options imagined for this concept include a deep detonator yellow, a moody plum crazy purple, and a classic B5 blue, all callbacks to Mopar's wildest paint codes from the muscle car era. Now let's step inside, because the interior is where this concept really tries to balance retro charm with modern tech. The dashboard takes on a clean, driver-focused layout, with a thick 3-spoke steering wheel wrapped in perforated leather and contrast stitching. Front and center sits a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster, fully customizable, letting drivers switch between a retro analog-style display or a modern digital layout depending on their mood. Beside that, a floating 10.25-inch touchscreen handles infotainment, navigation, and performance data, including a dedicated launch control and drag strip timer screen, because this car is clearly built for the strip as much as the street. The seats are imagined as deep bolstered performance buckets, available in either black leather with yellow stitching or a full houndstooth fabric insert. A direct nod to classic muscle car interiors of the 60s and 70s. Soft touch materials cover the dash and door panels, while aluminum pedals and a shifter with a cue ball style knob complete that aggressive, driver-first cockpit feel. Rear seat space is tight, as expected from a muscle coupe, but it is functional enough for occasional passengers, and the trunk is deep enough to handle a weekend track bag or two. Let's talk doors and practicality for a second, because this is a two-door coupe through and through. Long, heavy doors swing open to reveal that low, hunkered-down driving position muscle car fans live for. Some renderings even imagine power-operated soft-close doors as a premium touch, blending old-school muscle with new-school luxury convenience. It is not a daily practicality champion, but nobody is buying a Roadrunner for grocery runs. They are buying it to turn heads and rip down the highway. Now here is the part you have all been waiting for: performance. This is where the speculative Roadrunner really tries to live up to its legendary nameplate. The imagined top-tier variant features a supercharged 6.2-liter Hellcat-derived V8, pushing out somewhere in the range of 807 horsepower and 707 lb-ft of torque. Paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission, though a manual option is teased for the purists who want full control. 0 to 60 is projected at a blistering 3.4 seconds, with a quarter-mile time dipping into the low 11-second range, numbers that would put this concept right in the same conversation as today's most ferocious muscle cars. For those wanting something a bit more daily-friendly, a base model is imagined with a twin-turbo inline-six, producing around 510 horsepower. Still plenty to embarrass most sports cars at a stoplight. Suspension is tuned with adaptive dampers, allowing the car to shift between a comfortable cruising mode and a track-ready stiffened setup at the push of a button. Brembo brakes, launch control, line lock for burnouts, and a drift mode round out the performance package, making this concept just as capable of tearing up a road course as it is dominating the drag strip. Finally, let's talk price, because even in this hypothetical world, positioning matters. If Plymouth were to return with a car like this, industry analysts speculate it would likely be priced competitively against the Dodge Challenger and Charger lineup, probably starting somewhere around $45,000 for the base inline-six model, climbing up to $75,000 or more for the fully loaded supercharged V8 variant with all the performance packages. That pricing would put it right in the sweet spot to steal sales from both Dodge and Chevrolet's modern muscle offerings, especially with nostalgia-driven buyers who grew up loving the original Roadrunner. So there you have it, a deep dive into what a 2027 Plymouth Roadrunner could look like if Stellantis ever decided to resurrect this legendary nameplate. Remember, this is a fan-made concept and speculative rendering, not an official release, but it shows just how much potential there still is in classic muscle car branding. What do you think? Should Plymouth make a comeback with a car like this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button if you want to see more concept builds like this. And subscribe to Automotive Pulse so you never miss out on our next deep dive into the future of automotive performance. Until next time, keep chasing horsepower, and we will see you in the next one.